No. No biting. It's time to show you guys my new camera rig. Yeah, yes, you beautiful. Yes, you beautiful. Yeah, kisses. Want to get kisses? You monster. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Divers Ready. My name's James. It is so great to see all of your smiling faces. I hope you're all doing really, really well. The day has finally arrived where we're actually gonna piece together this massive jigsaw puzzle of a dream camera rig and actually get it wet and take it diving. Here's how the video is gonna go. I'm gonna do some kind of a time-lapse video and I'll do a voiceover of it as I build this rig out because it's going to take me some time, and if I just let the video run it's going to be like a 3-hour video and nobody's going to watch it. But I'll do a voiceover of it and then we'll jump back in and I'll talk you through the different features of the setup that I've chosen, and then we're going to take it diving, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't done so already, make your next dive on our subscribe button and hit that little bell icon and we'll dive straight into it. Right, so the first step is making sure that the camera has a fresh battery in and checking my settings and making sure that's all happy and good to go. And then you can see me fitting the zoom gear onto the lens. That's the 714 Panasonic wide angle, mounting the camera on the plate and then making sure that it's got a nice snug fit. Now before I actually want to fit the back of the housing, I need to thread through the HDMI cable, which is going to transfer the signal from the camera to the monitor. So just making sure that that wire is in, that it's not kinked in any way, shape or form before tightening down the bulkheads. And then I'm just going to make sure that I got a nice secure fit on the back. And before I started this time lapse, I actually did two things. I changed out the single ball mounts on top of each handle for dual ball mounts, and I made sure of course that all my O-rings were well greased. So once the arms are constructed, then I go on and start work on the housing itself, making sure that the HDMI cable is secure through the bulkhead in the bottom of the Nordicom housing for the Atomos Ninja monitor before securing that with another clamp. And then you can see I'm just fitting in the 12-inch flotation across the top of, well, basically the front on top of the dome mount. So once that's in place, I just tidy my workbench a little bit, and then it's time to fit the two Light & Motion 15,000 lumen solar video pros. As you can see with the ambient filters already fitted there, and it's just about adjusting the arms into the right position, attaching the handle, and then also adding a dive computer. Sexy B-roll sequence achieved. Let me talk you through some of the features that I was looking for when building out this dream camera rig. Okay, so first off then, the monitor. Let's talk about that. I use the Atomos Ninja 5 monitor in the studio for the videos that I make, and I knew I wanted to make sure I got the housing set up so that I could take the monitor underwater for two reasons. Number one, my good friend D.S.D.O uses the exact same monitor and housing setup, and he highly recommended it. And number two, I'm incredibly short-sighted, so the chance of me seeing the little screen through there or through the viewfinder just wasn't really going to happen. What I really want is to be able to shoot big animals and big wrecks. I'm going to be mainly a wide angle shooter. I'm not going to be doing a lot of macro work, and that's just going to help me out in framing the shot a huge amount. So the whole idea there is that I've got the Atomos Ninja 5 monitor that I can also record to in 10-bit, so the colors should be spectacular. Can't wait to see that. The HDMI cable that goes through the bulkhead here, and by the way guys, I have no idea why these on camera housings are called bulkheads, because as any mariner will tell you, bulkhead means wall. So this is a bulkhead, this is a bulkhead. That, if you want to use the technical term for when a wire passes through from the inside to the outside of a compressed chamber underwater, would be called a penetrator. But there we have it. I don't make camera housings. Apparently they call that a bulkhead. I don't know what they call that, the casing, whatever. Anyway, so bulkheads everywhere, tons of options, HDMI out cable, which means that my camera is actually feeding the monitor both with a live view, and I can use that as a recorder in 10-bit 4K 60 frames a second. Glorious, can't wait to get it wet. Let's talk about buoyancy. Buoyancy arms here are very much on the recommendation of Russ from Backscatter. Thanks again, Russ. I name dropped you in the unboxing, and I want to say thanks again here because he dives pretty much this exact same rig, and he said if you got the two 9-inch from sticks on each side and one 12-inch across the front that you angle forwards to counteract the weight of the glass lens, I should be good. But in the honest truth of the matter is that the buoyancy is always going to be a trial and error. So I'm going to have to, like, you know, get it in the water a couple of times, see how it trims out, move some things around. I may have to change these out or not. Hopefully Russ has got it nailed first time, who knows. The clamps, as you can see, tons of clamps on this rig. I went with ultralight, again on Russ's recommendation there for a brand, just because he said that they are longer lasting than the actual Nauticam brand themselves. The housing we already talked about, Nauticam. This is the second version that has the HDMI out port. And then the vacuum system, which we haven't talked about yet. The vacuum system is actually installed by Backscatter. So all I need to do is remove this little cap here, attach a pump to it, and then I can make sure that my vacuum inside the housing is holding negative pressure, negative millibars of mercury. You'll see that there's this little flashing LED down here. I haven't memorized all the codes yet. That thing can flash yellow, red, green, or blue. Right now it's just telling me that it's on, I think. I know that flashing red and beeping is very, very bad. I've also put my, basically just an Aqualung i200C dive computer here, just to make sure that I don't get distracted on my dives and I have my whole dive profile in front of me, nice and easy. I might move that over here so that it's on the horizontal bar, as long as I can see it through one of these gaps here. That might be a better place for it, so we'll change it out. And then the lighting, Light and Motion Solar Pro. As you guys would have heard in our channel update, I recently became an ambassador for Light and Motion and their dive lights. Couldn't be happier with that partnership. These lights are going to be incredibly bright, and as you can see there, I've got the ambient blue filter in, because the first thing we're going to test this on is a shallow reef dive, and we're going to see how they hold up in mixed light condition, where I'm going to be taking artificial light down there, capturing the custom white balance and blending it together with the natural sunlight here in beautiful sunny South Florida. Then over here we've got the dome port. I went with Zen underwater. I did a fair amount of research. These things are not cheap. I did want to go with a proper glass lens as opposed to acrylic, just for the quality of the image, particularly on the edges of the image, because I shoot 4K 60 video. And everyone told me that Zen are the best glass manufacturers because that's what they specialize in. It's also, amazingly, cheaper than the native Nauticam dome lens, so made out on that. Pretty happy with that setup. So that's it, guys. That is the tour of the new camera rig. Now all I've got to do is test it out, get it wet. So come with me, let's go diving. Oh, really? Oh, is that what we think is going to happen? Oh, really? Oh, you tough guy. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I can't wait for all the awesome new content we're going to bring you with this new camera rig. And yeah, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, from Bonham and myself, what is he trying to do? Dive safe, dive often. Woo!